actually was kind of busy. I was gonna record yesterday actually, but in the middle of recording, something happened with the Discord server that I'm a part of with a group of friends. And in the middle of recording, I hear faint voices in the background. And I'm trying to think, I'm like, maybe I'm hearing something outside. And no, it's not. It's not that I'm hearing anything outside. I heard one of my good friends from back in Texas. He saw that I was locked on the Discord server, so he was just like, I heard him and the whole squad like talking in my ear, like very quietly, because I had the gain all the way up, but then I had the volume to a different setting, so it was interesting. And then like I was like, wait a second, I hear him. So we ended up just playing Among Us for a couple hours. I think since I'm in Maryland, they're in Texas. There's we're an hour ahead of them. No, wait. Yes, I'm in Maryland's an hour ahead of Texas. So I had to stop when it was 1 o'clock here because it was only 12 for them, so they were going to keep going. We're all young adults here. We're all in our mid-20s. So, but yeah, we had a good time. That was actually my very first time playing Among Us. My very first run, very first game, I was the imposter. And the thing is, they thought that I didn't know what I was doing. Little did they know. I was watching online on how to do like all these big brain moves. I know this one time, the very first game, I didn't really know how to like murk somebody. So like, someone called an emergency meeting. Well, no. Oh yeah. So what happened was it was 10 of us and the imposter, the other guy. I saw him vent, and then it's highlighted red. So he passed me, and I was like, okay, he's the other imposter, because it shows you at the beginning. And so me being the guy that I am, sus lord, I did a big brain move, like some Shikamaru and Shikaku Nara level big brain move. So what happened was, I immediately, after the first kill, I was gonna like murk somebody in Among Us, but what ended up happening was, I forgot how to murk somebody, so I just stood there for like a few moments. But the other killer had murked somebody, so I was just like, what's going on? So someone found the other body, and I was like, hey everybody, let's just skip, and everybody agreed. Second round, another person gets murked, someone else reports the body, and I was like, alright, big brain move time, let's go. So I was the guy that was like immediately called out the other killer. I was like, yo, he's the killer. I saw him vent. He was like, what's your evidence? And I was just like, he was like, wait, no, Christian might be the killer. Because he was like, he knew I was going to throw him over the bus as soon as I said that. And then I was like, look guys, this is my first game. I saw him vent. I didn't say I saw him vent. I said he came out of the ground. And that sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, but you're just like, so you were just like, wait, because I started it. I said like, wait a second. How do you guys get into the ground? How do you guys like pop out of the ground? They're like, oh, that's an imposter. Did you see anybody do that? I was like, yeah, it was so-and-so. It was red. And everybody was like, oh no. So I was like, okay, so red's the imposter. Everybody vote red out. And so it was funny because I was like, you guys gotta trust me. And they were like, yeah, this is the first game. He's not gonna do anything like big brain, super big brain. So I did it, and they voted him out. And it looked like everybody trusted me. They were like, oh man, he's done. He got the imposter out first try. Good job, Christian. So I was like, yeah. Then that was the beginning of the end for So then, I was just like, alright guys, just do your tasks, and whoever the other imposter is, we could just go ahead and win because we finished all our tasks. Even if you're dead, do your tasks. So, we go around, and I got to this point where I followed somebody, and they called the emergency meeting and was like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I was done with my task. So, they're like, okay, cool, word. So, as soon as someone passed the two of us by while he was doing his tasks, I murked him right in front of the other person. And then I was like, big brain move time, let's go. So I was like, yo, right when I reported the body, the dude was like, yo, what the hell? So I was like, yeah, what the hell? You just murked so-and-so right in front of me. He's just like, no, you just murked so-and-so right in front of me. I was like, nah, what are you talking about? And everybody was confused. I was like, yo, look, I played the dummy. I was like, yo, look, guys, he just killed dude right in front of me. He's trying to do a big brain move and self-report. This is my very first game. Come on, you gotta believe me, guys. And they were like, I think like only one person, well, the only person that voted for me was the guy that I accused, and he wasn't the imposter. So, but we had it to where it doesn't tell you that the imposter is killed. Excuse me. But yeah, so it was very interesting. I ended up winning the round because I just murked everybody else. But Among Us is hilarious. It's fun when you're playing with friends. Like I said, it was my first time playing yesterday. I'm a little late to the party, but you know it is what it is. But yeah, this is one of those things that you just gotta do what you gotta do. I know one thing that I would like to do, another big brain move I'd like to try is be like I would like to vent in front of someone, and then be like, yo, why'd you just vent in front of me? Oh, one thing that I love when people like do like pile, like stacked kills, when there's like a stack of like 5 people or 4 people, like doing in like the admin doing card swipe, including the one imposter, so it's like 4 people and the imposter. And then while everybody's stacked on top of each other, you murk somebody, and then like no one knows who did it because everybody was stacked on top of each other. I love that because it's just like everybody just starts panicking. They're like, whoa, who did what? That's like my favorite thing. I like how, like my second game, they were like, yo, Christian did really well. We think he might be, by chance, the imposter again. And I was like, nah, what's the luck in that? And I was like, I'm not that lucky. So they all kept sussing me. And I wasn't the imposter, but I had to be like super detailed at what I was doing. They're like, where were you, Christian? And I was just like, I was doing wires, and then I was about to fill the gas tank to go to the top engine, but someone called an emergency meeting. And it was funny because I didn't get voted off, thank God, but yeah, I liked sussing random people. There was one guy, like by the 4th match, there was one guy, it was funny because he was just being an ass. Like, the game starts and everybody gets ready to do their task. 2 seconds in, he calls an emergency meeting. Everybody's like, yo, what happened? And he's like, oh, and y'all thought y'all were going to do your task. I was like, you know what, guys? How about we just vote this guy off right now for being an ass? And we did. We were like, yo, look, you're keeping us from doing our tasks. If we do all our tasks, we win. So we're like, yo, he might just be the imposter. But Among Us was funny. Like, the group of friends that I played with were wild, so I can't tell the things we talked about, and we're not crazy with, oh, you have to stay quiet. Like, we only get crazy with like being quiet as if like people get competitive, or we bring in people that are like chilling, like that's not a part of the group, like random people. like sometimes if we've got like 9 people that show up or 8 people, we try to get 2 random people that's in the Discord server that's not a part of our friend group. And because the guy who made the server actually is one of my good friends that I used to work with in the repair shops in the music store I used to work at. One of his friends actually created and runs the server, the Discord server. So I was like, yo, that's cool. So he'll get like a friend or something. That will stay quiet. But if it's like just us, if all, so it'll be like my friend, his wife, the guy who runs the server, his wife. So that's 5 people, and then like the guy's brother, who's kind of cool, and then like another friend, and then pretty much the majority of it. But yeah, we mad wild. A lot of and even in that group, I'm tame, cause in the original squad, it was a guy. Sorry about the glasses, Krakow. I've got these old like vintage, like Malcolm X style glasses, like, you know, where it's like black frame, but then like the bottom part is like kind of chrome. The thing about these glasses is that these aren't like new, like I've seen some where they're like new versions of it. No, these are actually an old pair of glasses that I got from my granddad. Well, I didn't get them from him, but he was gonna throw them away, and I was like, nah, that's fire, son. So he gave them to me. He's just like, you want them? So I was like, yeah, sure. So, I just, whenever I get my new prescription, which I haven't gotten a new prescription in a few years because my prescription hasn't really changed, but I just have them pop in the lenses and fit them to this frame, which they can do, luckily, and it's just pretty good. So save me on like $100 worth of framing. I don't have to spend money on frames and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, another thing I did in my absence was trying to get another job just so I can save up for the tax stamp. Because, like, this isn't really a political channel, but this is something that's important to me. I don't hate Joe Biden. I just don't like that he is a Mike Bloomberg crony. And what that means is he is anti-Second Amendment. And me being a Second Amendment guy, like I said, black folks, we haven't always had the privilege to indulge in the luxuries of the Second Amendment, you know. So my granddad always taught me, you know, any person trying to take a black man's Second Amendment away is immediately, in his eyes, a white supremacist. So I'm not saying Joe is a white supremacist. I'm not saying any of the candidates are. I just don't know. I'm not gonna believe the media and be like, oh, so-and-so is racist, or so-and-so is dumb, or so-and-so. Me personally, I don't even vote. I don't care. You know, I don't care who is in office. I don't care, you know, as long as you don't tax me too crazy. As long as you don't, you know, my thing is, I want a stop sign and the roads to be repaved nicely. I don't want more taxes. I don't want to go to war, and I don't want my rights infringed upon. You can make me wear a mask. I understand COVID is a thing, but it's like a lot of people. It's like okay, there's this female fighter. I'm gonna be dumb right now. There is this female fighter. I think her name is Pearl Gonzalez. She's on Instagram. I found out about her through another female fighter that I follow, Angela Overkill Hill. She's an amazing Muay Thai striker in the UFC. She's on a 2-loss winning streak. Her last 2 losses were controversial. I think she won her fight against that one Brazilian girl or whatever she was. She had a mole on her face or something, but like that was super controversial. And the Michelle Watterson fight versus Angela it was close, but like I could have scored it for it. It could have gone either. It's like Paulo Costa versus Yoel Romero. if you score it, it was close. But then Paulo Costa just did enough to win. Michelle Watterson just did enough to win. And, sometimes it happens. But, getting off topic. But yeah, so, Pearl Gonzalez, she's a fighter. I can't remember what. I think kickboxing or MMA, I can't remember. But she's a fighter. She's a pro athlete. And she had a fight coming up. And then it got canceled because she got COVID. Literally 2 days. Like, the first day she was crying because she was like, I can't fight. And when a fighter can't fight, they don't get paid. If they don't get paid, they can't pay their coaches. Sometimes they can't pay their bills. It gets crazy sometimes. So she's sad that she can't fight. That she let all the people down and her team and stuff like that. That they put all this work in, and now she can't fight because she has COVID. 2 days later, she's clear. It's like, wait, so are you guys gonna keep the fight going, or are you gonna pull out entirely? Because there's still time for her to fight, in my opinion. So, but Pearl Gonzalez, she gets COVID. First day, she says she feels like crap. Second day, she says she feels like crap. Third day, she's fine. Like, she's out and about. She tests negative for COVID. She has the antibodies, but I think she tests negative. And she's got a mask on. She's chilling. And I'm not gonna lie, she is a very, very beautiful woman. It's when you see woman, man, when you see a person that is so good looking, it don't even seem possible. Like, you're like, yo, it is dumb how good looking that person is. It doesn't even make sense. That's how good looking she is. I have a thing for Hispanic women. For a couple reasons. Reason number one, as a black man, it is heavily frowned upon to be with a white girl. I don't have anything against white women, but I've never, I've just never dated one, so, when you look like me, if someone comes up to you and says, yo, you look good, let's go out, I'm gonna be like, when's the last time you've been to the optometrist, miss? But yeah, so this is one of those things. But I have only dated Hispanic women. No, correction. I have dated one white girl. Mom, dad, I'm sorry. But she cheated on me twice, so it is what it is. And, Hispanic women have just treated me right. And I'm not saying that that's like a thing that's strictly a racial thing. No, I'm just saying, it's just, from my personal experience, that's just how that's been. So, when people say Mexicans go back to Mexico or build a wall, I'm kind of like, yo. Hold up with that. Hold up. Hold up. Because even when I was rejected, there was one girl where I was super overweight, and shout out to Nichols. That's not her legal name, but that was her nickname for me. Because, fun fact, when I first met her, she and I both didn't look our best. She had her insecurities and I had mine that we both could change. And before going out with her, she was just like, yo, look, you have to lose a few pounds and then come back. And I was like, yo, look, I can do that. She was like, alright, prove it. And I was like, word. And so we both eliminated our insecurities, and that was it. She was a real one. We ended up breaking up, mutually thought it was best for both. She ended up joining the military. Not gonna name her branch. I don't know, just won't give out that much information and stuff like that. But yeah, and then there was this one girl that I was friends with. I worked with her in the music store. I know one of my listeners is gonna lose his mind because he knows exactly who she is, but your boy was like I might have of came off as jokingly wanting to get with her. But there was one point where I was like, you know what? Because I'm against, dating anyone in the workplace. But this one was different, my guy. So, Las Vegas, I know you know who I'm talking about. If you think I'm tripping, so be it. To each their own. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But it is what it is. But yeah, so my personal experience, I've only been with Hispanic women. That's it. But yeah, I know my parents are always, when you gonna bring back a queen? I'm like, I don't know. That's the thing. Black women usually don't really mess with me. I wouldn't say I'm corny, but I'm weird. I'm weird, my guy. I'm crazy. Like I'm weird because I'm not. I don't think I'm weird, but most people perceive me as weird. Like when I tell people I'm into anime, they immediately think that I'm into hentai, which is people mix. They put hentai and anime together. That's not really it. Like, okay, putting hentai and anime together is like saying, it's like putting a Marvel movie with like some crazy pornographic film, like an adult film. It's just like, yeah, it's I don't know, but yeah, hentai is a form of anime, but anime is not hentai. It doesn't work both ways. Just to let people know if you don't know. But like, I had a coworker. Sorry about the glass crackling again. I have a coworker who I told her, I was like, yo. She was like, yo. She said, you're not that weird. I was like, yeah, you're right. She's like, except you watch that stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna say it. And I was like, oh, you talking about anime? She's like, oh God. I was like, yeah, I love anime. I watch it all the time. And she's like, how do you just openly say that out loud? And I was like, you know what? I'll do you one better. This is a funny story. So I was like, I'll do you one better. So at the same time this was happening, this is right when First Friday was happening. Now First Friday in downtown Bryan in Texas. It was like every first Friday of the month, a lot of people would come out, go to the businesses, the restaurants would stay open late, the businesses would stay open late, the shops and stuff like that, bars. You'd have street performers playing, and it was just a lot of people were going out. So right when my coworker was like, she's like, how do you just openly admit to liking anime? I was like, yo, I'll do you one better. In a crowd full of people walking down the street, coming in and out, I take a full sprint out the front door, and I scream at the top of my lungs, I love anime, just as loud as I can. And yeah, it was hilarious. I walked back into the shop, and my coworkers, one of my friends, Mike, he was just on the ground just crying because I had screamed at the top of my lungs, But yeah, anime is something it's been a huge part of my life. Not gonna lie, I lived a life kind of like I'm in an anime right now. I'm in a filler, but it is what it is. Literally, when I wake up, like, my alarm clock is just a regular alarm clock tone. It's like the regular standard iPhone alarm sound. But literally, when I wake up, I hear anime music, like an opener, and then if you know me personally, if you see me just standing somewhere randomly, in my mind, it's like a cinematic, like I'm crazy. I'm just out there. I'm nuts, my guy. But it's like I'm posing for like a shot, like an action shot. It doesn't happen frequently, but it happens every once in a while. I'm weird. Yeah. You just deal with it. But yeah, so anime has been a huge part of my life. Favorite anime, number one anime, Naruto. Anything Naruto, except Boruto. Boruto's trash. If Naruto dies, which I'm pretty sure he is, everyone in the Naruto community will lose their minds. Their goddamn minds just gone. Everybody will lose their minds. I don't think I'm ready. If absolute worst year of my entire life. But yeah, that's just how it is. So, that's just, it is what it is. I like older anime. Some of the newer stuff is not for me. Like, I like Yu Yu Hakusho. That's a really good one. There's a couple I want to get into, but there are lots of people who, a lot of non-anime watchers, they trash anime for being like over-the-top action, too much blood, a lot of like overly sexualizing women. And I was telling them, nah, that's just like, yeah, there's stuff like that, but like if you look at something like Kill la Kill is like over the top, overly sexualizing women, overly sexualizing men, blood, straight violence, action, bad comedy, good comedy. It's like over the top like, it's over the top, and that's like, it does it on purpose. Kill la Kill's another one, definitely in my top 5 favorite animes, but there you have your Kill la Kills, and then you have Erased, A Town Without Me, which is a murder mystery, which is really good. I've already watched through it like 3 times. Most recently I saw it with my sister, and there was one scene where we both like screamed at the top of our lungs, and it still gets me. But yeah, it's just one of those animes. It's like really good. What else has been going on? I know this is just a ramble, just to get back in the groove of recording and editing. I don't really do much editing, it's just post-production, reducing the hum of the computer in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but usually I edit that out, but it is what it is. Thanksgiving's coming. I need a shop for that because a lot of things fly off the shelf for Thanksgiving. It sucks. It is what it is. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me check something real quick. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I lost the recording. I kind of freaked out for a second there, but give me 1 second. Let me move the mic real quick. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. A little unprofessional, but like I said, I'm not really taking myself too serious yet. Just building a community, letting you guys get to know me while you pick apart my brain, while I crack open my skull and spill the beans. But yeah, it's like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. So Erased, A Town Without Me is a really good anime for people who don't watch anime to get into. Because it's not crazy. It's a really good murder mystery. Like, really good. Me personally, I would recommend Naruto, but that's my biased opinion. Animes to not watch. Animes to not watch. One Piece. Don't watch One Piece. It's never gonna end. One Piece is never gonna end. Like, with Dragon Ball, you can kind of eventually, Goku's just gonna retire. He's gonna give up. I used to think that until they came out with Ultra Instinct Goku, and it's just like, yo, this is just stupid. How do you get better than Ultra Instinct Goku? And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna start stacking, because they say Ultra Instinct is a technique. So it's like they're gonna start stacking forms on top of it. So it's gonna be like if you look at like Super Saiyan God, and then Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan is just Super Saiyan stacked on top of Super Saiyan God form. And then he did Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, which I think was incredible when he fought Hit during that first tournament with the Universe, I want to say 6, I can't remember. But yeah, it's gonna be like Kaioken, Ultra Instinct, which is gonna be this is gonna be stupid. It's like, what do you do past like a technique where you have infinite amount of power? It's stupid, makes no sense. But then it was like in the tournament versus Jiren. Jiren kind of went toe to toe with Ultra Instinct until he, shot at the crowd, which was kind of a problem. He kind of, it was stupid, but it is what it is. Funny story. Okay, so right now, my current occupation is being an assistant to a contractor for a construction corporation. And it's funny because our main contractor, he and I are working on a house. And today we had two projects installing cable. Well, I had two projects installing cable into one. We're working on this 5-bedroom house, and we're getting cable in the master bedroom, 2 of the other bedrooms, and 3 of the other bedrooms. I think the office, maybe. No, the living room. And so, but one of our designers and associated realtors were saying, "Oh, you guys should change the hardware and get black doors," just as a suggestion. And my boss, the head contractor, was like, "You know what?" The contractor was just like, "You know what? That's a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that." So we do it, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go," and because we're getting ready to do wainscoting. Wainscoting is really fly. I'd say look it up. Wainscoting. What the hell was that? Give me a second. Forgive the noise. There's somebody outside with a damn microphone. It's Tuesday. Well, it's Monday, but this video is coming out on Tuesday, so I don't know what's going on a Monday night. But yeah, so that's just, it is what it is. But yeah, so it's, sorry, glasses crackle again, old ass glasses from the 50s. But yeah, it's just crazy. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the contractor was like, "Okay, so let's go, and I'll be back. You go ahead and start sanding, priming, and then painting the doors black." And I was like, "Okay, yes sir." So I do that, and he takes off. I think he went to go pick up a new air compressor because our other one kind of died. Now the contractor has a hard-on for DeWalt, so he probably went and got a DeWalt. And it's funny because he goes, and I do like 4 doors, and it's funny because he comes back and he looks at my progress, and then he's just like, "So I've got to go get a sprayer attachment so I can hook it up to the air compressor." I was like, "Yo, come on, I didn't do that bad, did I?" And he's like, "Nah, it's fine." And I was just like, "No, you said you were getting a sprayer. That's pretty much a nice way of saying, look kid, you did a shit job." It is what it is. But yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, my feelings were kind of hurt. I did do a good job with the running the cables throughout the house. The way this house is built, the builders did a lazy thing with wiring. Pretty much this house that we're working on now is built around like a center column, like the whole house. Like, it doesn't look like it, but if you blew the walls apart, the house is built around the main staircase in the foyer, and then the basement staircase, which is like underneath that. So it's like that whole main column is pretty much the spine of the house. So it's like they just dropped it down, so it was easy to get that taken care of. Tomorrow I'll have to patch up the walls. What was that? Who was making that noise? Forgive that noise. I don't know what that was. said I was going to record yesterday. Then I thought the day before that, I was like, I'm going to record that day too. But I didn't, because I could not sleep, because I was terrified of the one thing I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of disease. I'm not afraid of getting killed by someone. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm not really afraid of anything except one thing. I am truly terrified of the urban legend known as the Black-Eyed Children. Oh my god. So I have this thing where ever so often I look up Black-Eyed Children just to be like, one of these days I'm gonna find a way to either avoid them or eliminate them. And I probably won't eliminate. I'm not gonna mess with them. But I saw this video of this white dude who attracts these things. And I was like, yo, of course, a white dude attracts a supernatural entity that usually kills people, I think. And it was crazy. This dude plays this frequency that attracts these things in the middle of the night for weeks straight, and then like he's getting ready to get rid of it, and then one night a black-eyed child shows up at like 3 in the morning and stands outside of his house for like 2 hours straight. I don't think it was a hoax. It could be, but I don't think so, because the way the kid like appeared, because he had like motion sensor lights, and they just turned on. If you know how motion sensor works, you have to move. Something has to move. So if a person is to move, a person has momentum when they move. So if you come to a complete stop, there's going to be some movement. You know, the inertia will drag you a little bit forward if you stop, which is crazy. So there was no movement or wobble when the lights came on. You just saw a person and the lights came on. It was terrifying. And she stands there outside of the front. And I was like, oh no, I'm getting chills talking about it. It's the one thing I'm afraid of is black-eyed children. My sister was messing with me. She's like, yo, I'm gonna figure out that frequency and summon those hoes. And I was like, you know what? Nice knowing you, kid. Because if you open that door, you're screwed. And I'm gonna lock my door in. Because apparently the legend is they show up, and these kids, they show up at hitchhikers or along the roads, parking lots, houses in the middle of nowhere, where they knock on the door in the middle of the night, or your car door, and they say, if it's a car, they're like, hey, can you give us a ride, mister? Or if it's your house, they're like, hey, can we use your bathroom? Or could we come in? It's cold out. If you let them in, that's it. Some people say they're body snatchers. Other people say that, like one story said that the victims let them in their house. I think one of them survived, the other one died. But they had cancer the next week, both of them. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. So that was nuts. So I was like, your boy ain't getting cancer. Your boy ain't getting his body snatched. Your boy ain't getting killed by these black-eyed children. So your boy ain't letting none of these MFs in. But yeah, so they don't come in your house unless you let them in. As soon as you give them permission, that's it. But if you don't give them permission, I think they get a little antsy and aggressive. One guy posted, he was saying that like one kid kind of like low-key threatened him. He was like, let us in, sir. Can we get it? Come in. And he's just like, nah. He was gonna say yeah, but then he looked at their eyes were black, like sharks. You know how sharks, you only see like the black of their eye, where it just looks like pure destruction and death. Grizzly, like bears and sharks have that black eye where it's just like, do I want to eat that thing? Is that thing, do I want to kill it or do I want to eat it? You know, it just looks like destruction. So he saw the black eyes and was just like, nope. And he was like, nah, I'm not letting you in. And then one of the kids was just like, come on, mister. We don't have a gun. So it's like, he said, the kid said it as if he meant, we don't need guns to ruin your life, dude, come on. So I was like, oh no. Now, black-eyed kids run up on me if they get in this house. You boy. Nah, I'm defenseless. Screw it. I'm not even going to talk that nonsense into this world. Black-eyed kids, don't come near me. to smoke. Just my only fear, black-eyed children. If you get scared easily, don't look it up. If you like living on the edge like me, go ahead, look it up. Do yourself a favor. When life is too easy and you got nothing going on, you need a good scaring. So like if I'm doing well in life, I'm usually looking up urban legends and my favorite thing that I would like to do one day. A guy that I want to take one of his courses. He was on Joe Rogan podcast and got me hooked onto him. His name is Pat McNamara, and he's got like T-Max Incorporation or something like that. He does like carbine and gunfighter and pistol courses, pistol and carbine courses, and then like training stuff. And it's funny because he always says, and this is something I want to do, but he always says that like he's like, every once in a while I take a trip into the wilderness with minimal gear. So he's like, I'll have like a knife, a few matches, and then like a sat phone where it's like, just in case if like I'm gonna die, I'll call that sat phone and then people can get to me. But he's like, when I go on these trips, I'm a little cold, I'm a little tired, a little scared. He's just like, he's talking about, he's like, I go in the wilderness. He's like, sometimes I have to kill a wolf to assert my dominance. Sometimes I'm worried about a bear sneaking up on me and killing me in the middle of the night. He's like, I'm worried about where am I going to find food, where am I going to get clean water, shelter. Pat McNamara, he's a savage of men. He's a man. Like the guys like that like do special forces and stuff like that. Those guys are men. Like Tim Kennedy, Travis Kennedy is a man. Travis Kennedy, man. I want to take one of his courses. Travis Kennedy, Kennedy Defensive Solutions, I think is what it is. Yeah, I want to take one of his courses. Haley Strategic, man. Let's see, Jocko Willing, man. David Goggins, man. Let's see, let me think of someone else. There are countless of other guys, tons of guys. Anybody who serves in the military and does combat, I ain't nothing. I ain't jack. Like, I take courses and training stuff, and I do know basic land navigation, but like these guys, they take it to another level. Like, I think if crap hits the fan, I think I'll be able to handle myself well, but these guys, they're like in their element in that point. I won't be in my element, but I'll be able to adapt quickly. But these guys, like, I remember one time someone told, I'm not gonna get into that, might be too graphic for YouTubes, but it is what it is. But yeah, so those guys, just straight crazy. Speaking of Jocko Willing, I might get, if I can get down to my preferred pant size, because I am trying to slim down a little bit more. I'm trying to get down to like a 30 by 32, which is what I would like to get down to. I'm fat as hell, so I'm like a 36 by 32 right now, so I'm a thick boy. So it's like, if I can get down to a 30 by 32, or whatever 30 wide by 32, length or something like that, I can't remember. But remember, guys, I'm an idiot. But yeah, so it's like, another man, Mike Glover. Mike Glover is a beast. I want to take one of his courses of Fieldcraft Survival. And he doesn't have to be that. I just want to take a course with one of the Fieldcraft Survival guys. But yeah, so if I can get down to a 30 by 32, I think that'd be pretty dope, because then I've got a different war belt with my holster and different mag pouches attached, and another set of medical, like tourniquets, chest seals, stuff like that attached, and yeah, because I've got one that's pant size, like from like 34 to like 40, which is starting to get a little too big. If I can get down to the smaller one, I think that'd be great. By the time I get that, I was thinking about investing in some Origin jeans, which is the company that Jocko was with. I can't remember if he founded it or if he's just one of the owners. I can't remember, but Origin makes like gis for jiu-jitsu. They make like gis for martial arts, and then like other products. They started to make like masks. I think they're partnered with like Jocko Milk, which is like Jocko's like supplement. Oh, there's one of those speed racers driving by. Yeah, along Indian Head Highway, there's a lot of like speedsters driving by. Like I said, there's a healthy racing community here. But yeah, so yeah, Jocko fuel and stuff like that. But yeah, like I would like to get some Origin jeans, get some true American-made cotton, denim, stuff like that. They got real nice stuff that I want to get into. Also, my end game is to get, I know it's heavily regulated, but to get a high-powered IR device, IR illuminator and designator, and then like, I always wanted like the quad, like panoramic night vision goggles, like panoramic MVGs, but the ruggedized ones, the aviator ones are cool, but they're not that rugged. They're used for like pilots, and then the rugged ones are used for like on the ground guys. I always wanted one. Like PVS 13s, I've used some. I don't own any. I want a pair, but I also want a pair of panoramic MVGs. I think that'd be pretty good. White phosphor, you can get them from like 3M. I think I would love to get a pair, but they're like $50,000. Your boy ain't getting a pair of like panoramic MVGs until, like I said, if you can't buy 5 of something, you can't afford it. So if you can't buy 5 Lamborghinis, you can't afford it. You can't afford one. If you can't buy 5, you can't afford one. So if I don't have, what's the quick math on that? 50 times, what's that? 250,000. If I don't have 250,000, I'm probably wrong on the math, but if I don't have 250,000, I can't afford one panoramic NVG. I would want it. I'll get there eventually, one day. But yeah, I really would love some panoramic MVGs. I would maybe start a crowdfunding, like a GoFundMe. I think that'd be pretty dope. But like if this community ever gets big enough to where I get a Patreon, that money will probably go straight to me buying panoramic MVGs, on top of better audio equipment and paying the salary of an editor if I ever get one. Maybe I'll even get a camera so you can see my ugly ass, but you know it is what it is. But yeah, so panoramic MVGs, flames, I want one. Like, I've obviously I think those require a different type of helmet mount, like MVG mount, but I have a helmet, it's OD green, NIJ is certified level 3A, so, a lot of people say, oh, it can stop a bullet. It's like, that's not what it's intended for. NIJ 3A could be a projectile from like an explosive, shrapnel, it can take a 9mm, but I wouldn't recommend it. The whiplash alone from the straight energy hitting the plate will probably like mess up your neck and knock you out. Especially if it's point blank, you're gonna have a nasty bruise and a real bad case of whiplash. But yeah, I need to get new level 4 plates, because I have 3+ steel plates, and I think level 4 plates. I don't plan on taking a shot of 30-06 to the chest like anytime soon, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, because in that case I'm dead and I'd like to keep my life. I like how I've got cousins and nephews and siblings that play Call of Duty, but I'm not saying I do it in real life, but I'm closer to doing it to real life than they are. They're always like when I go to the range and I do some cool stuff, and I do 3-gun, if I do like 3-gun, or even just like tactical training, which I don't do as much anymore, because I'm in Maryland and it's not as big of a community in Maryland as it is in Texas. with the Biden presidency, I'll probably, like, it's like a lot of, he's calling for a confiscation, which is stupid. The only way he can do that is if he has a universal background, universal database, which is a unconstitutional, not really, but it usually when they ask for a universal database on firearms, usually that means they're getting ready to do a confiscation. And here's what it is. They're only going to take firearms away from people who are not super rich. So if you have a lot of money and can pay for your tax stamps, that's why I think with the Joe Biden presidency, you're going to see a huge uptake in SOTs and you're going to see a lot of SOT, like like a ton of people getting their SOTs and then like getting like all their ATF stuff so that they can have access. Because if you're paying your tax stamp for an SPR or a suppressor, and then Biden's making you pay a tax stamp just to have a semi-automatic rifle, it's kind of stupid. Because it's just like, you might as well just get an SOT, because then you have access to 1, SPRs, you have access to 2, suppressors, then you have access to 3, select fire rifles, which are machine guns. So it's like, you might as well get your SOT if they're gonna make you get an SOT or pay your tax stamp. They're gonna treat a semi-automatic rifle like an FFA firearm, which is stupid. It's like, you might as well make pistols FFA firearms at that point. It's just a pain. I'm sorry, I'm ranting about the Second Amendment again, guys. But yeah, it makes no sense. But yeah, so if you guys ever want, like I said, if you want me to talk about a particular topic, shoot it down in the comments so I can know what to talk about next. Still working out that role play that was gonna come out like a week ago, but a lot of bad things happened. Not bad, but like a lot of not good stuff happened. Just drawbacks and stuff like that. But yeah, so remember, guys, be kind to yourself, be good to yourself. If you constantly beat yourself down, it's not good. Remember, love yourself. That's something I'm still working on, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just like weight loss, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't take diet pills and get skinny. Now you gotta put in the work, put in the cardio, put in the weight, put in the resistance training, put in the dieting, And me personally, like I said, dieting sucks. I recommend intermittent fasting, but that's what worked for me. Or the carnivore diet. I'm getting ready to jump back into that. That was pretty good. But you gotta do it the right way. So, take care of yourselves. Be safe. It's a crazy world right now. 2020 sucks. People are crazy. Stay healthy. Be safe. Remain vigilant. Take care,